ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Living With Us. I'm your host, Sharon Mundia, and we are at Park-In by Radisson. I hope you're ready for a fire show because my two guests today are going to bring it all the way. We're talking about the biggest entertainment highlights in the country and outside as well, and we're giving our 2 cents on it. I've got Kate Rira, who's a radio host, a content creator, and a TV host on NTV's Lit 360. Let us say bye. Oh my God. And then of course we've got the iconic, the legendary Antonio Soul, singer, songwriter, actor, and media personality.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Oh,
okay.
Yes.
Thank you for having us, by the way.
The bestest.
Oh my God.
Most important
You see what I mean? This is going to be a fun show, you guys.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the things that have gone down, and we're giving our honest commentary on you know what's been happening.
Yes.
So first thing.
That come hold me waist. Boy better handle this.
Watch the video.
Yeah.
It's a little steamy.
Yeah, and the new one, hallelujah.
The Rosary, first of all, I was like, oh yeah, no, for sure there has to be something there.
I know.
I don't know. So my question to you is, what do you think about that? Like, do you think that there's something going on, or do you think it's just a steamy video? And do you think we should even be caring about whether they're... Okay.
He's a musician.
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
So I know Rosary personally very well.
Yeah.
And I also know Timmy. So I'm gonna sort of throw, some info that people don't even know. All I can say is that the whole time that Rosary has been in Kenya, she's been spending all her time with Timmy.
Ooh.
So where she's been staying, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, so it's there.
Well,
But I think the same thing also with Nandi and Willie Paul.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting for Rosary. It's like bad girl, bad boy, Timothy dad. So it's a really nice, And for the Jiwa guys,
you say good boy, good girl? No.
It's Nandi.
Willie's not good boy.
I worked with Nandi. I met her.
She's a good girl.
She's a good girl. Yeah. Willie Paul is a bad boy, so it just looks like a really nice thing going on. And if both couples are dating, I think it's quite cute. And we're bringing back that celebrity dating thing in Kenya.
I would lie. Willie Paul and Nandi have walked before. Jiwa and Jiwa was beautiful. It's a good try the second time. People were a little bit skeptic because, of course, gospel transitioning to this. But we can't have that conversation with Willie Paul anymore. We accepted. I know. No, well, he did the first time.
Let's just
he was even awarded
preaching
as
to Nandi. Let's just
how he's gonna sing the hallelujah.
Yeah, hallelujah.
Oh my God.
But it's steamy from both sides. Because Rosary is really big in Tanzania. So when you say economically and maybe music, they did a good job. For relationship, honey, no.
You don't feel like...
No.
I genuinely feel like Rosary and Timmy, I feel like something's going on. And Rosary, you're my friend. Like, we talk. So I need to know. And this is why when we came this time, you were not like hanging out because you are busy.
Yeah. So let me... Doing what? So let me ask about like celebrity couples. What are your thoughts on that and them being like public? Would you want... If you were them, would you put it out there? Would you be like, yes, we're dating, or would you want to keep it private?
Oh, well, if it makes us money, let's put it out there.
Really?
Yes.
You're all for like,
we're all about to ching, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if it's not making money, honey, please sit down and be quiet.
Wait.
Yes.
One of the partners is weak. Like, you're not bringing us money.
Yeah, it's not working.
Let's just say the truth. A lot of people in media are alphas.
Okay.
We're alphas. So it's either you find an alpha like you or a beta who's willing to keep quiet and take it.
So would you be public about your relationship?
If we are really strong, like if we're really strong together and we bring a lot together, yes, we will.
So what happens when things aren't good anymore?
I think for me, naturally, like if you love anyone and the world we live in, we sort of end up sharing a lot. So there's a tendency to sort of put your person out there. What I have a huge problem with is when things don't go the way they're supposed to go. For example, the Natalie Tewa and Arnez, that name that I just
it's Ugandan.
Right. Arnez. Like couple goals, we love each other. Imagine it's okay for them to break up. These things happen, and I was telling you guys before, like our parents are the quintessential perfect couple. Because if they're still together and alive, like there's this assumption that this is the best couple in the world. I want a couple goals. But imagine you probably don't even know that they probably split up when you guys were in class 3. But they stuck to it and were with you guys. Same bedroom, we're not sleeping together.
But you see
what I mean?
They kept it clean.
Yeah, but they didn't have social media.
No,
but
even
you know what they had?
They had
nosy aunties.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And nosy uncles. That was there. The thing is, we have to never forget that these are human beings. If it's not going to work out for Nandi and Willie Paul, for Timmy and Rosary, it is okay. We just burden them when they split up with our own insecurities. You haven't paid rent, you owe someone money, you need something, you haven't made it in life, so you put it all out.
Yeah, and then you start to focus on like, hey, why did you guys
say
like
this
and
this
and now
this
look at that.
And only when they split up are they a big deal now.
Right.
But when they're busy telling you subscribe to my channel, you don't. So now,
but you see, the world loves negativity. That's why you see people liking it when things are down. They will laugh at them. They make you loud about couple goals. So
or at the very least, you start getting like excited and you start sharing. I mean, even with like the Jordan Woods, Khloe Kardashian thing. I mean, it was just like quick to share. Let's just have you seen this?
Let's talk about this.
What's going to happen now? And it's almost like it's taking away from what you're saying. Like my issues are, for now, we can put it on the side. Let me just focus on how bad things look like they are for you.
True, true.
Do you remember 5 years ago, there was this boy who went to a party, and then there was a video that went viral of him being chased away because he wasn't the cleanest and he was dirty, so he was like kicked out. So the Kiambu boy who was kicked out of the birthday party released a song.
Focus. Guy. Magiti my gay guy. Mageti my gay guy. Magiti my gay guy. Mageti my gay guy.
Yes, go him. So let's talk about like the idea that you and your children and your people have to look a certain way, and anyone who doesn't sit with that, like you get kicked out, or you can't sit with us. It's like you can't sit with us mentality.
Let me tell you, the classification is from time immemorial. People were classified, rich and poor. Like, so it was something, yes, it's been something that has been ageless, that you find it even in a home. Already parents even look for favorites. Like, it's sad, but then it happens. And that was really, really sad. But you see how it turned out so well for him? But then it's so sad, especially for kids. Whether you're dirty, come as you are.
I'm studying intellectual property law, and one of the things about copyright law is something called elitism. So when does someone say, for example, that your art is an art? So the same thing when it comes to kids. At what point do we teach kids that this is not something you're supposed to deal with? Like who are we to tell children how to pick their friends, how their friends should look like, you know, how their friends should dress like? Because kids, number one, need to make and kids are the most amazingly non-judgmental people. So when we begin to teach kids that no, you shouldn't hang out with that, what we're telling kids is, as they go along the social ladder, that they shouldn't help people like those, that those kind of people are security risk, ignore them, run away from them. And all these things come into play when, for example, someone is stealing from you and they're dressed in a suit. We've taught people that's okay because they're in a suit. So this person who has an amazing talent, who just isn't dressed as well, you should be scared of them.
Right.
So we really have to also be careful about how we teach children,
so
and then bring this on social media. And then now that he's made it, now that he's clean cut, now he's a thing. It's quite sad what we've become, though.
Yeah. Right. And how a lot of times, whether we realize it or not, but our preconceived notions on race, sex, sexuality, money, power, tribes come into play. And then that's how we like you're saying, we transmit that, and we raise our children to start to think, if you don't look a certain way, if you don't sound a certain way, if you don't dress a certain way, how can you possibly?
And we forget it from there, like for a parent to be at a place where, especially this age that we're in, for you, a lot of us, for you to have made it now and you're driving your car and whatever and you have this home, like we forget that we've come from there, where there's a time our parents couldn't pay fees. There's times when we didn't have Christmas clothes and stuff like that. So we did come from luck.
Yes,
and then we became lucky. So why do we get shocked when we see people who don't have it now? Yet we are a product of not having then.
I think the biggest thing people should remember, this is given, it could be taken. Just remember that. Then you will act right.
Hallelujah.
This is given, it could be taken. I better act right. It was given, it will be taken.
Yeah, right. That's so true. That's so true. Story came out. There's this Ugandan 7-year-old rapper, right? And he's been like doing his thing. But it turns out the Ugandan government is saying that they're going to jail him and his management team if he doesn't stop performing. And their argument is that he's not focusing on school, he should be in school, and therefore this is child labor. There are laws around this. But they're saying, what are you talking about? We perform over the weekends. I'm still going to school. Why are you trying to take
And the manager is saying,
you know,
don't pay him.
Remember, it's only M70 who can do another now. Not everyone. Just him. He's the only one.
First, Uganda needs to focus on all the kids who we've seen in Vice documentaries online, on all these kids who are, you know, child labor in some lake somewhere, you know, harvesting fish and whatever, and not getting paid, not going to school. They also, I schooled in Uganda for 2 years, my A-levels. They need, Form 5 and Form 6. They need to focus on all those kids in Bombo, in Migade, Uko, all those kids who are not going to school. What about those kids who are not rappers, who don't go to school because the economy doesn't allow them? So should the government arrest itself?
No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. My biggest issue.
Please leave this boy alone.
My biggest issue is why we're arresting kids. Where are the parents to answer us this question?
Even me, I'm like, I can't do it. Just say
arrest yourself. Why?
That's so interesting. So, okay, you're saying parents.
Parents should answer to this. Like, why are we talking
You can't leave these parents to hustle with their child.
So actually, how would you jail a kid, like, for real? For doing what? Let the parent answer. Like, stop even giving this kid.
In fact, he was saying, like, look, I'm able to not just support me, but my family as well. How do you think? You want me to go to school? Are you going to pay my school fees? Right? So allow me to hustle, and I'm doing it on the side. And when you think about it, there's so many artists, like the Justin Biebers, the Kylie Jenners, and now look at how we all exalt and praise, oh my God, look at how much money they made, like success and all of that. But I think one of the things I'd even be more concerned about is exposing a child to an industry this early on. So I'd say, I mean, are you offering, I wish the conversation was deeper than, are you?
What I'm talking about is mental health.
I wouldn't lie. My issue with Uganda is like, there's so much. You have bigger problems on a 7-year-old. Thank you.
Your president was out here enjoying our SGR. Please just bring the kid here to also enjoy the SGR. You all have a thing. Oh my God! Our cows. Okay. Please bring back our cows. Like
that's Tanzania.
That's Tanzania. Okay. You see, too many problems.
All right, guys, we've got to take a break, but we'll be right back. A fire show. Today we're talking about the things that have been taking place in the entertainment world and giving our thoughts on it. We've got Anthony So, we've got Kate, we are in the building.
And we've got Sharon.
Dare we forget?
Me, the guy who kissed Beyonce on the cheek.
The power guy.
Yeah, power guy. What's
Omar
his name?
Hardwick.
Omar Hardwick, right? Omar Hardwick had this like moment with Beyonce and Jay-Z. Well, he comes up to Beyonce, gives her a kiss on the cheek, hugs her, but as he's letting go, gives another kiss.
Yeah.
And it's a little too, I was like, yeah, it was quite close. And of course, Beehive, being Beehive, comes and annihilates. So let's analyze the kiss.
You don't get one, but two kisses.
Two kisses. Let's analyze the kiss.
Yeah. I think, okay, I wouldn't lie. I feel like he wanted her to be on Power. And if I had the chance.
What?
If
I wanted
I
her
had
to
the
be on Power, yeah.
Yes, like he would ever pay her.
Yeah.
So me, like, no, if he had a chance.
Yeah.
Anyway, so if I ever had a chance to kiss Beyonce, girl, on the chick,
yeah,
so like, if this is Kenya, we gotta act right.
Okay.
It would be a moment, but I won't lie. My greatest moment was seeing Carter, aka Jay-Z, just there, like this guy. He's gone. Like this is how people die.
Yeah, this is how
this
people
is the
like,
reason why.
Right.
I just feel like if you meet Beyonce, there is a certain level,
of
like your
decorum,
adrenaline, your anxiety.
But would
like
you
take
be
your
though?
pills before you meet her because you will go to another level. So and if you notice, like everyone, you could see at the back Viola Davis, and I would want to meet Viola Davis.
Yeah.
But everyone of us at that moment, Beyonce,
I mean, it's Beyonce.
Beyonce at the NAACP Awards, I think. And what happened, if you ask me, was her hair was just covering the surface area for him to kiss. So he ended up kissing the tip.
But why the second kiss?
Because again, you're meeting Beyonce.
Okay.
You know, this feels for me like you're about to just jump off a cliff. So and her lip is the cliff.
Oh my God.
Her lip.
The awkwardness.
Her lip is the cliff.
awkwardness of it all.
The wind blows so much towards you. And you just like, why you're falling. And he fell. But for me, the biggest problem I have is the over fetishization that we have with celebrities.
Oh, no.
Because his last post on Instagram, Manze, see the beehive.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And even the beehive were like, you know, guys, I think we're over, you know, we're over indulging with our celebrities. We need to chill out.
Yeah.
Like, just chill out.
And it almost feels like they enjoy it. Like, who are we coming after next?
Yeah.
Who are we trying to destroy?
So
not just even like correct, like, hey, you know, Omar, maybe next time just like give one. No, it's more like you are over, you're
like
done. Shut it down. Go to like just bury yourself. And it feels like a. Look, I stand for Beyonce. I love Beyonce. But I also don't want to like see you destroyed, lose your job, lose your family because you kissed her twice.
Quick shocker, did you see 50 Cent's post after that? No. He posted the video and he's like, on the next season of Power, Omar Hardwick dies. Like, it's not of the beehive.
Okay.
Even people in the industry kind of know you better act right when you see this kind of person.
Yeah.
Like, don't mess up with them because you could be blackballed.
As you said, please take your pills.
But it's scary.
I know.
It's scary. Okay.
It's such a moment.
Lupita Nyong'o has this movie called Us. Have you guys watched it?
Yep.
Oh, I'm watching it this weekend. Don't spoil it.
I have watched it.
I watched the preview.
Trailer.
The trailer
just
don't say anything.
Just so I can ring her.
Don't say anything.
Private viewing with her and her family.
No.
Her family. Sorry, I don't want.
I don't like you.
I don't want to let think. I'm just saying too much. I should.
So
you need to get the scissors.
You're kidding.
Yeah, I watched.
I wish we had the
whole
scissors.
thing.
Oh, that's well, we haven't, but we are going to this weekend. In one of her interviews, she said that her character was inspired by people who have spasmodic dysphonia. I think that's how you pronounce it. And that's where she drew her inspiration for her character. And she got quite a bit of backlash. Before I even give my thoughts, my 2 cents, what do you guys think about? And she issued an apology, right?
Yeah. She had the most graceful apology on The View.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about Lupita. Like, if you look at all the celebrities who've ever apologized, she clearly did her research, and she sort of told guys, by the way, for me to actually do this, I met a couple of people, I did this whole thing. What I have a problem with, because me are not going to stop me from getting an Oscar. Let me come through for my girl Lupita. Y'all need to leave that black African girl alone, because Forrest Gump, y'all didn't go through for those guys. All these big white actors who have done the most for their characters, they are absolutely, you know, criticized and told you are amazing. The critics say you're the best actor. But for her, no. Please stop coming through for Lupita. Please.
I think
where
they
the
still want her.
Lupines
They
will
still
come
want
for you
her.
also.
You know, remember being black, you're still living up to expectations. And when you do it more than they expect, they're always like, "What's she gonna do wrong? What's she gonna do wrong?"
Us broke a couple of records in in box office. As I think black lead
highest grossing film on the grossing film
was written by black
with a black lead film.
Written by black. Produced by black, like it's all black. So you see, just the factor that is already people are looking at you looking for a mistake. But I won't lie, I like how she did it. I think it's an African way to have a lot of grace.
She's very graceful. I mean, you have to love
African
Lupita.
grace.
And she explained herself very beautifully. And I at some point was just wondering, like, are we just? And I get it. It's important that we are sensitive, right, and conscious of what we're saying and doing, and take responsibility for your actions. But it's almost like you were waiting for something to happen for you to jump on it. But I love that she addressed it. She didn't run away from it, and did it in a graceful way. And she said that this was even her chance. She wanted to try and shed light on this, and have conversations around it. She wasn't trying to.
And there was a letter from one of the organizations where they were like, "Thank you for taking your time and
understanding what
understanding."
I won't lie, I didn't even know that
condition.
Right.
I know.
Spasmodic dysphonia.
As we do that, let's celebrate her kidogo. She's launching a book called Sulwe.
Yes. Which I mean, as a parent and as a mother and to a young lady, I'm so interested in anything that tells the African story, the woman's story, that celebrates dark skin, blackness, Africanness. I love that. And I can't wait to get my hands on that book. Speaking in other black African female ladies who are doing great things and who also has a kids book. Wanori. It's set to write and direct US TV series. What do you think about these people, these women, specifically black women, who are putting Africa on the map, or even Kenya, specifically around the arts, right, and entertainment and like shows and. I stand for Wanori in ways that I don't know. If I saw her, I'd be like, oh.
Wanori is amazing.
For me, one of the things I've learned is, and this should be to everyone, whether you're in the arts or not, is that time is a healer. Like, the essence of time is beautiful. All these two ladies, Wanori, Lupita, have been in they're Kenyan. They've been in the industry. They have paid their dues. They have these things that they're doing now on a global scale. They began that foundation in Kenya. They started off as their friends, as their close friends. These guys have been fighting. And the world, the thing about being Kenyan is that, and being a Kenyan artist, in whichever form, is that when you get out there, people see a side of you, they can't believe that you're not big. They're like, Yani, you're this hardworking, and you're this focused, you're this smart, you're this intelligent, this eloquent. So imagine when we give such brains, and we put them in front of Neddy, who I'm mind blown. The lady that she's working with, apart from Viola Davis, who has done an animation on Black Panther. Like, she is on another level. When they get to meet this kind of people, we understand the beauty, and honestly, the beauty and the magic of African women. You guys are, you go through so much, and when you get a moment to shine, you guys shine.
Actually, speaking of like shining, Dorothy Gotuba also was like appointed like Netflix.
She's the manager of African International International Originals.
And she's Kenyan. And that's what's up. I will say one thing. Out of these films that are coming out right now, what I really, really love, it's no longer superficial. It's rawness. There's so much rawness and richness in these stories right now that it's no longer just love story, petty stuff. It's like real stories. We're going into deeper issues, and that's why you're seeing people now are not superficial anymore. They're going deeper into stories, deeper into issues, and that's the way we need to go. And I love the fact that Wanori is getting into the industry when these things are happening. So
told by our
that's what we need. That's what we need. Wanori,
her Afro bubble gum.
You're next.
Oh, amen. Of course, you guys know Koffi Olomide. Well, he recently received a 2-year suspended jail sentence for statutory rape. There's one of his dancers who was 15 at the time, and he, raped her. First of all, this isn't the first time that something like this has come out. I think about 10 years ago, there was another story about four dancers came out and they said, hey, this guy, you should know what he does to us. And even just a few years back when he was in Nairobi at the airport, remember?
The beating.
And he was deported the next day for it. Of course, we've been hearing a lot about Time's Up, and it's been mostly an American conversation, and a lot of like big names being exposed. What do you think about that? That it's...
Let me be the one.
Okay.
Koffi is a legend. Never stop. He's done great music, and this is what hurts me. These are great people, their music. It's so sad. Sometimes you listen to it and then you remember how he slapped someone or he did this. But it is so sad that even maybe Koffi has a problem. That's why he's doing what he's doing. You know, as much as we talk about this artist doing wrong, we need to figure out how did he get here to think that this is okay to do to someone again and again. And you know what I will say? You have to pay for what you did. It doesn't matter whether you're coffee or your tea. You're gonna pay for it. I'm sorry.
I think for me, we allow.
We have to pay. But my problem is, this extra celebrity that you feel that you are invincible. It has to stop. That you feel that you are untouchable. And especially in Africa, we have allowed it from politicians to people. Like people could do anything and nothing could be said. Like if it is the S's, the people, the family of the S's, if they do anything, they can't be touched. And that's the thing with Koffi. I think for the longest time, he thought this would never catch up to him. But guess what? We live in the woke era. This is the woke era where we will catch you while you're at it. We will search back for those tweets, those videos, we will find them and we will catch you. So word to those ones who are stars right now, you better look out for what you're doing. You gotta pay for it. Yes.
For me, in the African setting, I think we allow African men to get away with so much. Like Koffi or not, and why does Koffi get away with what he does? Because he's been empowered by we the people. We are the ones with the problem. We are the ones who let our neighbors, and they beat their wives next to us and she's screaming for help and whatever. There's always a story in the news about a man who abused the wife, and the wife has gone and killed the kids and committed suicide. Like we let this get too far. Those signs are there when we see our uncle touching our cousins. The signs are there when we see you know, men in the family beating, you know, our aunties, our sisters. We see it. We just let it slide. So why would Koffi get away with it? And again, even the fact that now he has that, you know, suspended sentence, how many non-famous men will get a suspended sentence? So even as we continue to reprimand the men who have committed humongous crimes, we always have to find a way to sort of again whitewash it with another brush, like
but you know he did.
But you know, because
that's what I was going to.
Let's suspend the sentence.
That's what I was
so
going.
We're still doing the same thing.
No, that's what I was going to say. Like
I
don't understand how that's okay. And I think also when it comes to people like that, the R. Kellys, the Michael Jacksons, Koffis, who have been accused or allegedly accused of like raping, statutory rape, it's almost like we think, but look at their art. But look at how great they are at what they do. Surely we should focus that, exalt that, and forget the fact that they are monsters behind doors. And I think in many ways we're now saying, actually, you could be the best, but we will bring you down.
That's the thing, they used the art. They use the art to excuse their behavior. And we're not supposed to do that. Because if a normal man did it, a normal woman did it behind the bars, we need, let me tell you, I wish people could actually do this. The law cuts across. There is no bigger or smaller. I wish we could be that serious even as we apply
and
it.
Yet, I think a lot, the onus also falls on us, because a lot of times we think, but their music is so good. Did they really do it? You know, so it's a collective sort of, we all, it's not just even like the law that needs to be woke. I think we also just need to start thinking, I know you're great, Kate. I know you're amazing. I know you're beautiful. But what you did is not okay. And for that, we're not cool, right?
We forgive people for what they do a lot of times. It's not right.
Okay, we've got to take a break. We'll be back in a short moment. Welcome back, everybody. This has been a really fun show. I don't want it to end. Like, can you guys come back? What are you doing next week? Can I come on? We can it'll be like
just a 2-hour special.
Yeah, no. I'm even thinking like living with S, Kate, and Anto.
Yes.
Let's just like hang out
So
and
we don't
talk.
meet to your house.
Oh, you're welcome, by the way. Come, I've got extra room. An iconic U.S. rapper recently passed away, Nipsey Hussle. And it's from a gunshot wound to the head. At least that's what the reports say. Well, if I'm being honest, I didn't know about Nipsey Hussle to begin with, but from everything that I've seen, almost everyone that I know in the music industry has paid homage to him and has sort of been like, wow, I can't believe you're gone. And it got me curious as to how the music industry works, where you almost think if you're not known, if I can't see, if I don't know your name, are you really doing anything?
Exactly.
So this seems like someone who was like,
that's deep,
someone who was like, I don't know if it's just me who's saying, but to me, he wasn't like Jay-Z, Kanye, Nas, like commercial, right? Yeah. Well, first of all, I can't imagine what Lauren London is going through. But also, what are your thoughts on that? On like, does fame, or does success equals fame? For you to be successful, do you have to have your name out there and known?
But let me tell you, Nipsey Hussle is the real reflection of how you touch people's life is success. That's it. That's for him. That's what he gets admired. Because he was not the most popular of artists. He was not the most popular of rappers. Even people would say they know the wife more than they know Nipsey.
Right.
Yes, because she's very popular. She's
Lauren
been there for a while.
London,
But funny story, in the underground rap, he's really, really popular. And what he did for his hometown, he has a clothing line. Yes. And he has done so much. He was doing a documentary about Dr. Sebi and the African deteriorating health. He was doing so much. And you see, that's the thing, the world does not see that much. Now is when y'all know I was live and all this information I got when he died. I am so sorry, but that's the truth. But anyway, the world wants us to be very commercial, that the people on the ground doing the real stuff like Nipsey.
The thing about being an artist that I always thank art for is that, you know, he will live forever. He'll live forever, and if you look at it from a spiritual point of view, well, then he really did the work. At the end of the day, do your work, pay your dues on the ground, like, be kind. Like, he is the epitome of kindness. This dude, Africa should be celebrating him. We actually forget that his father is Eritrean. In fact, last year, he was in Eritrea, sort of paying homage to, you know, being an African. And the fact that he was paying rent for people who couldn't afford to pay rent at times, he would buy shoes and uniforms for kids. Right now, his music is #2 on Apple Music. I think one of the songs has jumped on the Billboard 100 charts. His followership on follows on Instagram has gone up by like 700K. You know, so it's sad that that had to happen for people to know who he is. But then, if you also look at it without completely beating ourselves, is that if you do good, good will come to you, whether you're here now or you're gone. And I think, you know, he's definitely left a legacy. And questions asked again, and we must question the ones who are really famous. What are they doing for those who, you know, who look up to them? That should be
how are they empowering others? How are they paying it forward? Kate, you said,
why I'm mad about this whole issue is that it's a black person finishing a black person. That thing
from the hood, and from the hood.
We're from the and they are from the same hood. Like, why would you do that? Why are we our own enemies? That is one thing we need to pick out. Let's stop being one another's enemy. And also, people need to be sensitive at all times, because people have been sharing the video of how he passed away. I even had to be taught during the Dusit bombing sagas, like, you can't post anything that is not like approved and all that. I think that's a lesson that needs to go all throughout. But most of all, I think we need to touch lives. Just as he said, you need to touch lives again and again. It's bigger than being famous.
And you know, you talked about legacy, and you sort of implied it earlier, Kate. I think, you know, often when we think, what is your legacy? You think, what is this big, grand thing that I will do, that I will leave behind, that people will be like, wow, that guy was dope. Wow, that chick was like incredible. But legacy is every interaction that you have with a human being on a daily basis. It's how I leave you feeling, it's how I leave you feeling, it's how I leave the, Chris behind the camera feeling, the person who opened the gate downstairs. That's how you build a legacy. And to me, I didn't know Nipsey, but it's clear to me that he left behind such a strong legacy of kindness, of empowering others, like what he was doing with even children in the communities. Like, that to me, whether or not people knew about it or it was, it was as popular as Kylie Jenner becoming a billionaire, it's still, his legacy is strong. And I was
when you get Rihanna to
like
post the way she posted, because we know Rihanna is like the biggest like pop icon ever, and she could not care about anything. But when you get her to feel that way, it means
Beyonce even.
And it also means for him the way he carried himself with these other celebrities. She was very clear about, you want to take a selfie? Okay, so you finish and I'll come.
Right,
I'll come back.
exactly.
Like, he wasn't about that life, and they respected and loved him for that.
Oh man.
Conscious man.
Yeah.
Very conscious.
All right, Nicolas Cage. Well, he got married, and then 4 days later he decided, actually, I don't want to do this anymore, and so he filed for an annulment. And by the way, I think this is his fourth. I think this is his fourth marriage. I mean, I know divorce rates are high, and I know that dynamics are changing quite a bit. But a 4-day wedding, like what would drive? 4-day marriage.
For Nicolas,
I'm just like,
guys, I can tell you what it is: tequila shots, and cocktails in bars when you go to certain clubs. I love you.
Let's get married. In fact,
marry each other.
Right now, you get married.
Right now,
fact,
and then we leave here. Right now, and you officiate.
And that's how it happened. By the way, it was like on that day they applied. I think it was with a makeup artist, and on that day they applied, they got it, and they got married. And apparently that same evening or afternoon they were spotted like arguing. So do you think there was like something that were they inebriated? Were they on something else?
Probably they were high.
Guys were high on
if they were high on something else, probably 2 days later his lawyer called. What did you do? The lawyer just calls like, what did you do?
Prenup, Nini, the guy was like, Nicolas Cage, you need to get yourself out that cage. Again.
Let me tell you, some of these people
like,
need to
get that key and lock it away, but you're not inside. Get yourself Nicolas out of the cage. That's
oh my goodness.
Out of the 4-day cage?
Oh
my goodness.
Wow. I mean, I also just I couldn't understand.
Like 4 days though.
You and your plans. You and Patricia.
He wasn't engaged.
Like best friends.
He wasn't engaged. He was encaged.
Oh no! Killed it now.
I have to give you. I have to give you that one. That was good. That was good. All right. So who likes books? Who likes reading?
Me.
I like listening to books.
Listening to books.
Audiobooks, that's my thing.
So,
once in a while, though. Not like at 5 books in a week. That's a lie.
I mean, 5 books in a week.
Kenyans who
I
like
it's an audio.
I read a book every day. How do you read a book at
no
night
one says that.
and finish?
I'm sure no one says that.
To go to
By the way, Sharon.
Until you're
You haven't met Kenyans who are like,
but
no, they see with a fat book, they're like, umemaliza nipeni some. And then you're like, no, sijamaliza. They're like, nitamaliza ule usiku.
But you know, for Kenyans, everything is
They're
a
like,
competition.
you don't have YouTube, you don't have Wi-Fi, you don't have Netflix. Who are you lying at? You can finish this book tonight.
Kenyans, it's a competition. If you're a Christian,
why aren't you doing a PhD if you can finish a book?
Oh my
Please
goodness.
go finish. Go get your master's, you liar.
All those people who finish books and just come for you.
Yeah.
you ruined my makeup. Thank you. Now it's all messy.
Go get a PhD.
I'm about to start like, God, my mic is coming out. I didn't even intro this, and already I'm like, this is great. Let's wrap up. Great high. But what I was trying to say,
I'm so sorry.
Sorry, what I was trying to say is that Oprah and Apple are creating the biggest book club on the planet. And I just wanted us to talk about our reading culture, really, and specifically in Kenya, and also I guess to explore why it is, because I think it's dismal. I think we've got a really terrible reading culture, and you talked about Netflix, YouTube. So what's your take on that? Is it important anymore? Is social media enough?
The thing is, see how we're seated here and how we talk and how we're eloquent and whatever. Someone could assume we came from...
Oh my gosh.
And coming from Runda doesn't mean that you're born speaking English. Books. Like our generation, books. The fact that we had to read all those set books we had to find references when we were in uni, and we had to read.
Do you know we had to photocopy the book by writing page by page? Why did they do that?
Because resources, and they believed and they knew that by allowing kids to be able to read, you open up a world that we never even know existed. They say the cheapest way to travel to anywhere in the world is to read a book. So I wish and I hope that we would read more, because this is the thing though, guys, Oprah. This is Oprah. One
Still
of
read
the
it.
richest women in the world, in fact, people in the
successful.
world. She understands the essence of why it is important to open a page, to flip, to read, to learn something new, because it opens your creatively. There's things that books does to you creatively that if you don't have that, you don't have anything.
Right.
And so it is important for us to know that. And why is she doing it? Because I believe, and I genuinely believe, that she's never been able to answer the question. But for someone as important and as popular as she is, she just knows, manze, guys, this is the key.
Yeah.
This is the key. Like, I could have all the money in the world, but if I could leave again the legacy, manze, please read. Guys, just read.
I think, and you see, that's the thing you hear from many CEOs and people who have reached in places in life, that you gotta read, you gotta read. But let's look back, especially in the Kenyan system, why people don't want to read is because we are tested for it. Like, especially in secondary schools, there's a set book, you have to do it. So it's not enjoyable anymore. It's not rewarding to read. It's because you're gonna fail if you don't do. If we could change that, then we could change a lot.
Right. And
Yes,
I think
don't make it look like it's an exam, like it's going to be really, really bad. And then it's going to be very initial. I'll share my own personal story. I told you about it. Being younger, I had a sister who would read so well, but me and my sister who's closer to me, I'm the last, didn't read well. So one time my dad is coming home and we're rushing. He's just coming in. I rush. I'm in class 5. I rush. I take a nursery book and I'm apparently reading. My sister has the book upside down and we're all reading. My dad comes, he looks, he's like, this is a nursery book. You're reading mathematics upside down. And the other one, what's she doing? Like, you see, these things at a certain small age, like, we need, it needs to start a very young age.
But also take away, right now, take away the phones, take away the tablets, take away the Wi-Fi from your kids, and begin to give them books that, you know, do something to the kids, like, you know, incite their soul to want more. Because even for us, but also for parents also, if you're not going to see your own dad or mom reading, what makes the kid be like, oh my God, there's something interesting about that world that my dad goes to every time he's reading. Why do people love reading a newspaper, even when someone is clearly flipping and not reading? Because we saw a person of authority holding it, and there's something special about it. And we have to teach guys that it is okay to read. Do it for you. Don't read for anything else.
Wait a minute. We have to help out. We have to help out the people who are not such big readers like myself. You're the one who's teaching me about documentaries, and at least I know about audiobooks. You need to help us out. That's where the issue is at. No, because they're the older generation that can't read.
But I also do think, like you said, it has to be a culture that's implanted, like at birth, you know, like it needs to be routine. Your child is 6 months old, they have no idea what a book even looks like, but you're sitting there and you're like, see, look at that, and you flip the page and you sit with them and you teach them why it's important to read. And not just even, like, yes, you step into someone else's world, but it's not even just creatively, I think spiritually. I think the way that you view relationships, the way that you view success, the way that you view purpose can all be found in a book that speaks to your soul. And it's so easy right now to be on Twitter and to keep picking. How many times do you pick up our phones?
What?
On a day?
On
a
a day.
You bring your phone right next in case someone calls and you're like, bye guys.
She's been on the phone the whole time.
Right? And before, even during the break, we was like, okay, until we've got, you know,
like you go there. Imagine if you had a book.
Imagine if it was a book, right? And what are we doing when we're going back on Twitter or on Facebook or these things? We're trying to be like, what's the news story? What happened? Are they still together? Did they break up? Who robbed that guy? Wow. Did you see how that chick got dragged? It's not things that are filling up our cup or our spirit. And I think books are very
filling up our cup. That's deep.
And I think I think books are just, I mean, they're pivotal, and we need to join the book club. That's how we start.
I really love what you said. How do you fill our cup? That is the best thing I've learned today. I love it.
I don't know if you're being sarcastic.
No, like,
for real.
No, let me, because you know why, when you look at yourself like that, in that essence, it means like, what have I done
Right.
today.
Yeah.
What have I feel
Right.
today?
Yeah.
You need to own that statement by then and run with
No,
it.
I think that's in the Bible, okay, guys?
No,
but like,
no, but the way you said it.
thank you guys so much. This was so much fun. I'm not kidding. This is like, I'm telling you, in a couple of weeks,
Yeah.
if I
It's your
call,
job, Debarl.
please,
We'll come,
please just show
Let's
up.
we'll come over Easter.
Over Easter.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, until I know you've got a new single out.
A brand new jam. It's
Hey,
called
Closer.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Why don't you intro? What's Closer? What can people expect as we
whatever. So this amazing brand new video called Closer, shot in Nairobi and in Mombasa. And for me, what I want people to really learn from this video is that you're enough. I'm enough. We're all enough. And that's the reason why I use a dark-skinned, beautiful, tall girl called Jackie Ruto, because it is important for young, dark-skinned boys and girls to remember that they are enough. And it's important for us to represent dark-skinned boys and girls in mainstream media, in our videos, because that's who we are, and we cannot run away from who we are. So come closer to yourself.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, so
Yeah.
here's Closer. Thanks, guys, for watching, and we'll see you on Monday for a really cool show. Here's Closer, guys.